This here is Suicide Squad. This is the second series from 2001. And this debut issue stars the Injustice League team, the group of prats that were ongoing jokes in the Justice League International books. I will not just be repeating the exact same things that I have continued to bring up with these characters, because this comic presents some new problems with them. We have the cast down the left there, and they are in the reverse order that they die. Spoiler warning, you just heard a spoiler for this issue. They die. We will come back onto that, but for now, this series needs an explanation. This is written by Giffen, and something I want to commend is that it wasn't trying to recreate the John Ostrich run on Suicide Squad. Instead, it was trying to marry that idea with the original Suicide Squad, which was an army comic from the 60s. And this one brings that military stuff back, and some issues are full-on war comic sort of stuff without any superpowers. And I respect that they are trying to remind people that there was more to Suicide Squad than the 80s version. Although the Injustice League is a group of 5, it is really only 2 of them we are properly exploring, and they are the disaster artist here, who could easily be mistaken for Clockman, since they have included a clock very prominently in view in this sequence. But it is Disaster Artist, the leader of this team. And since it is written by Giffen, we have all the jokey banter that you would expect from these characters. I would like to purchase 4 candles. Oh, here are your fork handles. That sort of comedy routine. The 2 Ronnies, except there is 5 of them. We also have the same problem I mentioned in the other issue of this series that I reviewed, issue 3, which was one of my least viewed videos. 0 comments and 1 like. But when they are talking over the headsets, or they are being monitored on laptops, you cannot tell who is meant to be saying what. The best thing about this, and the most surprising, is that these characters are actually shown as being half competent amidst all the comedy banter. In between the I wish to complain about this parrot stuff, they are shown to be capable of carrying out the mission and succeeding at stuff, and that is almost unheard of with these guys. That is refreshing. And then the other character we are developing in this issue is Clue Man. He is maybe shown to be the most adept and useful of all 5 of them. He is intelligent and strategic. He is pretty good under pressure. He is almost a professional, which makes him dying all the more wasteful, because that is basically what is happening here. These characters have been drafted into a new Suicide Squad and sent off to an island to stop some terrorists, and they die. First, we have a little child who turns out to be a bomb, and he does an explosion, and that there is our first death in this issue. And I will say, after that first death, actually directly after that, we are shown Clockman being skilled too. Generally, after that first kill, the 4 remaining characters are all given at least one accomplishment in this story. And that is fantastic, because these characters have been so profusely lacking in any form of capability ever since they were revamped as the comedy group. It's just a crying shame that all this is happening when they are being killed off. They find all the terrorists dead, and then the team, they get attacked by an army of child bombs, but this time none of them are explosioned by one of them. Instead, one of the Injustice League deals with the problem effectively. Then they uncover this monstrosity that has been created on this island. They were trying to create their own superpowered human, and it is a horrible, bloated collection of flab. So this was the birth of Melissa McCarthy. And after being introduced to her, we very quickly have another death. And then on the next page, Clockman dies. I'm sure that I am a defense lawyer for comic book bad guys' reputations. I think Clockman, I think any of these characters, any one of them could have been made into legitimate villains, but the comedy revamp killed that possibility forever. It's hard to take Clockman seriously or think of Disaster Artist as a threat after about 10 stories where they have been pathetic middle-aged losers who cannot do anything right. Speaking of wasting characters, after this issue did a great job writing up and partially redeeming the comedy take on Clueman, he also dies. This issue does know that this is a cheat. This was meant to be the death that you didn't see coming. You expect Disaster Artist to buy it in this bit, but Clueman does instead. And so, Disaster Artist, he is the lone survivor, and he will feature in the rest of this series, on and off. There is some stuff with his character. I might be misremembering, but he feels a bit of survivor's guilt from this experience. That is the first issue of this Suicide Squad relaunch that didn't last long. And truthfully, it wasn't great. I reviewed the best one, the one with the ants, and there is maybe one other issue after this I might look at one day. The rest, it's pretty lousy, or the jokey back and forths are too annoying. This here, though, was the death of the Injustice League. And I think they have all stayed dead. And I don't know how I feel about it all. I feel it's worth somewhere near 7 thumbs up.